Hi everyone, welcome again to the Azure Fundamental Lab series. This is lab number 6, and in this lab, we are going to be looking at how to estimate workload cost by using the Azure Pricing Calculator. So let's see here what we have. In this exercise, we are using the pricing calculator to estimate the cost of running a basic web application on Azure. So you can actually estimate, the cost of any resource in Azure. But for the purpose of this lab, we're going to be looking at a basic web application. You don't even need the Azure environment to be able to at least do the pricing calculator. So we can actually just go in there without even having a sandbox or any of the Azure account to be able to at least complete this particular lab. Um, Okay, so notice the following. So we have the product, the example scenarios. If you want to check some of the people that have been running, this particular workload in Azure, you want to see how they save estimate and the likes. And these are some of the questions that have been asked. So here, the this is where you choose the Azure service that you want to include. We have the example scenarios like reference architecture. You can use that as a starting point. This is where you find your previously saved estimate and here frequently asked question. So let's estimate that. So the first thing we need to do is to actually choose a virtual machine. So that's going to be under our compute. So we are going to be adding, on the product tab, we are going to select, a virtual machine, so we're going to add it to estimate. So we click on that. Um, so let's hold on. That has been added. So the next thing is to look for database, Azure SQL database. So let's look for Azure SQL database under the database. So we can go to, so you can decide, it's just because, these are popular ones. If you want to follow these, that will be under the compute category where you go to the virtual machine, but I've selected it. So I need to go to database and search for Azure SQL database. So let's look for Azure SQL database. So this is it, Azure SQL database. I'm going to add that um, to estimate also. Then the last one is going to be the networking, which is the application gateway. Application gateway is actually a layer 7 load balancer. So if you want to, there are a lot of things you can actually do with an application gateway. You can redirect the web page. If you want to do a URL redirection, you can do that with the application gateway. It also works as the main purpose is to load balance. So if you want to at least split traffic to workload, to your backend pool, you want to take advantage of application gateway. And one of the reasons is the fact that it comes with WAF, which is the web application firewall. So that's that. Then so I'll go under networking and select my application gateway. Um, it's nice networking. Oh, I can't see networking. Oh, okay, let's see. Yeah, should be here. So under networking, I'm going to select my application gateway, and I've added, each of them to the estimate. So once that has been added, you can scroll to the bottom, and you would see, this is the virtual machine, and this is still under the virtual machine. This is the SQL, and yeah, you can see the application gateway. So on each of these, we are going to be configuring some certain requirements, some of the things that we need, to maybe to function. So region, we are going to select the West US. One of the things I told you during the course of this class is the fact that depending on the region, the pricing of your resource can be different based on the region you've selected. So operating system, I'm going to stick with the Windows. Type is OS only. Tier is standard. Instance, we leave that at as it is. Um, Instant service, we're going to change that. No, we leave that as it is. Then here we're going to change these to, okay, still the same thing. That is D2 V3. And here we're going to have two virtual machines running, because what we're trying to do is to set up a work pool, or let's say a backend pool that we can actually load balance to. And that's why we are using the application gateway. So we have two machines already selected. Now we leave the rest, the way they are. Then we move ahead to the SQL. On the SQL, we are going to be selecting the West US also as the region. Then the type is going to be the single database. The purchase model is going to be the vehicle. Service tier is going to be general purpose. We leave it as it is. Compute type provisioned. Then generation, okay, we'll let that go. That is generation 5, and that's what we currently have. Then instance, we're going to change these to 8 core. Then we leave the rest the way they are. Then we move ahead to the application gateway. So still West US, because we want all our resources to be in the same region. Now, the tier should be the web application firewall, not the firewall version 2. This is medium. We're going to set this to 2 instances. Then, yeah, data process, we're going to set this to 1 GB. Then, outbound data, we leave it the way it is. Then, yeah, at the bottom, we can see how much estimated cost, monthly cost for everything that we've done. So you can see here for the application gateway, you have $206. For the database, we have 1,567, which is um, the one that is uh, more costly here. Then we have the virtual machine, the two virtual machine. We have it for 305. So you can see this is actually everything that we have. So we can actually export these. If you want to export this, you want to export it to, you know, um, your system. You can have it saved in Microsoft Excel. You can see, so I can just save these to, let's say, the desktop, and we can take a look at that. You know, you can also, if you log in to this, you can actually, share and even save this. Let's log in. Let's log in and see that I've logged in already, so I can save that particular. Um, I can save that particular file. I can also share this, by generating a link and send a link to anyone that needs it. This link is publicly available, and you'll be able to at least see, what has been estimated. So if I click on this is going to take me to the pricing calculator again. But the person, with this link will only have access, to the estimate what you've actually generated. And that is loading. Just hold on. So you can see this is what we have already, and they have been loaded for me. So the person can see what you've done, what you've estimated and the likes. Okay. So I think that's the end of this particular lab. Thank you for watching.